What is up, guys? Back with another video today. Something a little bit different than going out and riding the board. I wanted to show you some specifics of the hardware on the board. Now, Exway's produced an awesome app that they've got for the board that allows you to see board diagnostics in terms of like the motor and how things are running, your odometer, your speed, really cool stuff, as well as make a ton of adjustments to the board, which I think is really great to have, so you can customize the board to really suit your riding style. Not everybody wants to be in this race mode where they're just blistering as fast as they can down the road. Some people want to just have a really smooth acceleration curve, a smooth braking curve, which really makes this board accessible for all types of different people, especially those who are looking to get into electric longboards as kind of like their first board, but don't want to, quite spend tons and tons of money on something that they're not 100% sure they're going to love. So I love the app. We'll dive into it right now. Let's go through all of the different features of the app and what they do. All right, guys, so this is the main dashboard in the app. Essentially, what this is telling you is basically the health of your board. Anything from the charging status to the board status to the distance remaining on the battery. Moving out of the dashboard and into the other main skateboard page, you get a bunch of different options down below here that enable you to really customize your ride. So here we have safe mode. This limits the top speed that you can go to and kind of unlocks different speed settings. The standby mode allows you to keep the battery in good health. Change gears while moving. This is so that if you're on the board, you can change between first, second, third, and fourth. Free mode is the next setting down. It enables you to have the board go backwards when you pull back on the controller. Cruise control, double tap, keep you at a constant speed. This is where you turn turbo mode on to surpass that top speed limit of whatever setting you're on. This is the wheel size, so if you're switching around wheels, then that's where you adjust it. The power system mode goes from riot to hub motor. And then this is my favorite part. So this is the section where you can really customize the board experience, changing from the advanced mode to beginner to default. It changes the acceleration and the braking curves. Now, you can change it up here with this top dial, but you can also go in individually and slide those things around to give you the exact braking curve that you actually want, which I think is phenomenal. Now, moving into the next section, this is just some general, tutorials, quick start guides, whatever you need, just to get the board actually running. Overall, super impressed with the app and the way that Exway has actually executed this. I think that it's super approachable from anybody who's a beginner at electric longboarding to advanced. All right, guys, so as you can tell, I was super impressed with the app when I opened it up for the first time. I love being able to adjust the board to the settings that I really want the board to be set to. Next, I kind of wanted to go over the remote. When the board comes out of the box, I noticed that my remote was set to kilometers per hour, and I'm a US-based guy, so I like miles per hour because that's a little bit easier for me to digest. So let's quickly dive into what the remote can actually do for you, and then go forward from there. All right, guys, so here is the remote that comes with the Exway X1 Pro. Really nice remote. It's got this nice matte kind of feeling to it, which feels really soft in the hands, which I kind of like. It's a pistol grip. It's got this trigger here so that, up is forward. That can either be brake or reverse depending on if you have that free mode enabled within the app. So when you turn the remote on, it's going to say Exway on it, and then it's going to tell you a bunch of different diagnostics. So the upper one is how much battery the board has, which you'll see is at 21%. The bottom is how much battery the remote has. Then you have your miles per hour, which direction you have the board to set to go when you press this trigger forward, as well as your speed mode. Now you can change your speed mode by pressing this button once, and it'll tell you the max speed of each mode. So mode 1 is 9 miles an hour, mode 2 is 15, mode 3 is 22, and then mode 4 is 25. If you flip on the turbo mode, it'll increase that, I believe, up to about, I just did a speed test on it, it was about 27 miles an hour. Now what's cool about this is when you turn the remote on, the board also turns on, so there is no need to switch two on switches for this. And when you shut the remote off, the board will also turn off. Now this remote also does have a vibrating feature that vibrates when your battery is starting to get low or when you turn the board on and off. So when you get this remote right out of the box, mine was set to kilometers an hour. So let me just show you how to get into the menu settings. If you press and hold this center button here, just long press and hold, keep holding it, you'll go into the menu. Now within the menu you probably can't see, let's see if I can get this to focus here. There we go. You can see that you've got a couple of options. You've got repair, and you use the combination of the trigger and the center button here to navigate through the settings, so we're not going to repair. If we go down to calibration, you can calibrate the remote. I haven't messed around with that setting, so I'm not actually entirely sure what that does, but we're just gonna hit no. You can see what version you're on for the remote, and then this is where you're gonna be able to change. It's called speed unit. You tap into that, and let's see if I can get this here. You can see that it's gonna switch between mile per hour and kilometer per hour. Now I wanted to switch it to miles per hour, so that's how we do that. And then you can just hit down, hit exit, and it'll bring you back to your home page. Again, to turn the board off, just go ahead and press and hold that button, and the board is off. So that is the Exway X1 Pro remote. I'm not 100% sure if you can use this remote with the Exway X1. It is an awesome remote, super comfortable. It's got this nice long lanyard here with the cable tie at the end, so that you can really get a good fit on your wrist so you don't lose the remote if you happen to crash or whatnot. I've never ever had connection issues with this thing. Now, I've ridden this board probably a total of 15 miles, and never once have I had the remote or the board drop out on each other. Super smooth ride, which is super impressive. So absolutely love the remote, love this app, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a super simple video, just going over the Exway X1 Pro app and remote. Now, I love the remote. I've never had any connection issues, which is, it kind of seems like almost like this voodoo topic for electric skateboarding, having a connection issue between the remote and the board. But I've been riding this thing for about 15 miles. I've never had an issue with the board actually dropping out on me. The other thing that I really like is their app. I think that having an app that allows you to customize your speed and braking, the acceleration and the braking settings for the board makes this thing super approachable for everyone. Some people may not be as comfortable going 25, 27 miles an hour on a longboard, and to be able to control those acceleration and braking curves, I think is a huge win for every rider out there. Now, the one thing that I do want to mention here is that these videos, they are not sponsored by Exway. I went out and I was searching for a board that was going to fit my needs, as I explained in my previous video. And if you haven't seen that one, be sure to visit my channel and check that out, where I introduce the board and do a full unboxing. I wanted a board that I could commute to work with. I live next to a bike path. The bike path is next to my work. It's about 8 miles away. And I needed something that would get me there quickly, safely, and efficiently. And the Exway X1 Pro for me just kind of does it. If you're interested in any of these Exway products, whether that's the Exway X1, which is the previous board, the Exway X1 Pro, or if you're interested in learning about something called the Riot motor. Now, the Riot mode is something that Exway is currently still producing. I'm not exactly sure when the release date for this will be, but check out their website in the description below to find that out. This is their swappable belt drive system, which I think is super cool. I love belt drives because you can swap out wheels and get a little bit more customization with your board than with a hub motor. So hub motors are great, they're quiet, they're efficient, and they're super fast, but a belt motor just sounds amazing. So make sure you check out the product description below so you can get to that link to Exway's website. Again, please subscribe, comment, like the channel. Let me know if there's any other videos that you want me to do. I will be doing some mileage review updates as well as speed and distance testing on this board. But other than that, drop a comment in the section below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and hopefully we'll see you guys on the trail. See you next time.